Hit me. What's this one?
Okay, should I kick this one off?
Yeah, go for it.
You don't even know what this video is about.
I don't, mate. Lead with that. Lead with how
Oh,
you know what this video is about.
okay. Hi guys, welcome to Tom and Harry SMMA. Harry, for the record, doesn't even know what this video is going to be about because I'm going to spring it on him. But for those who've seen the thumbnail on YouTube and on the podcast, you know it is how to analyze your Facebook ad data, Harry. So you weren't actually prepared for this video. So I'm just going to put you on the spot. You put some ads together. Actually, before I even go into this, this video is going to be 10 minutes long. All our videos are 10 minutes long now. Once after 10 minutes, we're not talking about it anymore. Hit the timer, Harry, please, if you haven't done it already.
It's 30 seconds.
For those listening on the bus or wherever you're fucking doing, or you're watching us on YouTube, please like and subscribe. It massively helps us. But let's get into it. How to analyze your Facebook ad data. You've got an ad up. It's running. It's been running for about 3 days. And we do encourage you not to look at any data until about 48, 72 hours in, right?
Yeah.
What are you now looking at for you to get an understanding of is it fucking working or not?
Yeah.
Like what are you doing? How do you do it?
So I would obviously the first metric I would look at would be what the cost per lead is or the cost per purchase. That's like the main thing, just to see if any leads have come through. So like let's see if this ad has brought in any leads or it's brought in any sales. That's number one. And then we would look at if it has brought in leads, we'd look at the cost per lead. And then are we happy with that cost per lead? If it hasn't, and even if it has brought in a lead, we then dive down into the deeper metrics. So I would look at I'd look at cost per click and I would look at the click-through rate. Those would be my two biggest metrics that I would look at initially. So I would look at, one, is this ad generating clicks? So is it sparking interest and forcing people to take a click to view more? And what's the click-through rate like? So what percentage of people are viewing this ad and going to the landing page? Because
just within the Business Manager software, just what are those initials that you're looking at? What is it?
So it's CPC and CTR.
Yeah. So CPC, cost per click, and then CTR is click-through rate. Now that's at top level, because I know some people be like, oh, well, that's a unique click, and then it's not a fucking unique click. All that fucking shit that people write on it.
Yeah.
Anyway. But it's a good benchmark. Like that's the top shit. That's the top level stuff. So what are you paying for someone to click, like Harry says, and how many people are clicking through? The click-through rate. So CTR is really important. So those who are running ads, CPC, we look at very intensely. CTR, like Harry's just said, that's the click-through rate.
Yeah.
Okay. But more importantly, like how much are you paying for a lead and how much are you paying for a purchase? But
I think there's hundreds and hundreds of different metrics that you can look at in a business manager, but you want to keep it at the beginning really, really simple, because all you want to find out when you've launched an ad is that ad doing its job? People really get it confused. People think, right, I've got an ad up, and the job of that ad is to get them to click, get them to view the landing page, get them to view the landing page, get them to submit the lead information, get them to convert. When it's not, the whole job of that ad is simply to stop someone scrolling, get them to the landing page. Then it's the landing page's job to get them to convert into a lead. And you can use metrics on that front as well. So initially, we want to find out, is this ad stopping the scroll and is it getting people to the landing page? And if it is, you'll see an above average cost CTR. So an average click-through rate's 1 to 2%. If you're getting either an average or above, that means and a cheap cost per click of say 20 cents, 20p, then that shows that your ad's doing its job. That's like an average, like a 20p cost per click and a 2% CTR is like the bog standard good ad that's going to be putting people through. Obviously, we've had ads that have up to a 11, 12% CTR and like a 1% cost per click on Facebook. So that's like, but that's very extreme. That's like when we've fucking crushed it on like a really hot industry. So that ad would then be showing that it's working. However, but if you could be running that for weeks and weeks and weeks with a really high click-through rate, really low cost per click, but no leads coming through, that would indicate to you that you've got a landing page problem.
Yeah. Or it'll indicate that there's something in the ad that they like, but then they're going, oh, I didn't realize it was that. So you've misled them.
Yeah. Or there's a problem with the product or service. Price.
Yeah, like a trust issue, and I just don't think it's fucking any good. But I've seen ads on Instagram where it's been a picture of something and they've circled something in the background. Do you remember that ad that went out for ages? It's like a red circle of something in the background. And what I know that ad fully, without knowing, I know that ad had a really high click rate, a really low cost per click, right? But the cost per the CTR would have been really low. The percentage would have been terrible because you've hoodwinked them. So they've gone, oh, what is it? Click. And a click, for those who don't know, guys, is like clicking on copy, clicking on the image, clicking through, clicking on, it's like any, like even engagement of any kind.
Yeah.
So they've been hoodwinked, and that's why it will skew your numbers. But Harry's right. Like, so you're looking at CPC, CTR, then you look at the unique. You have to look at it at unique level. Okay,
Yeah.
it's basically even further down of even better quality. That's when people are clicking through, making an outbound. You're taking them off the platform, so they're on Instagram. You're taking them off to landing page. But like Harry's right, if your cost per click and your click-through rate is decent and you're not getting leads, and it's either a checkout issue online. If it's an e-com brand, then maybe they just don't like the product, or you're hitting them with a delivery cost, or it's not what they thought it was. So you've got a website issue, or it's a landing page issue where they haven't got a fucking clue what you're asking for them to do, and the service is shit. Or could be that your reviews are bad. It could be your Trustpilot rating's bad. It could be their Google reviews are bad. They've had some bad reviews, and the people are going, "Oh no, fuck this! I'm not going to do it." Yeah. What other metrics do we look at then when we're analyzing data?
Um,
We're doing ecom. What do we look at when we're doing ecom?
what are we talking about, metrics within the business manager, or like metrics that we work out with the client?
Oh, the video was, what were we on the timer?
6.5 minutes.
How to analyze your Facebook ad data. So let's we're in, and that can be same for TikTok.
See,
But
I think a really important piece of data, which you can't get from the ads manager, but it is to do with your Facebook ad performance, is your conversion rate from lead to consultation, and then your conversion rate from consultation to paid customer. So what I mean by this is, say you spend £2,000 a month on a Facebook ad campaign, that produces 600 leads or 300 leads for a client. If that client has a conversion rate of lead to paid consultation or free quote or pay, whatever that initial touch point consultation quote is, you need to know what that conversion rate is. So say it's 30%. So you get 90 leads you get 90 consultations from 300 leads. And then you've got a 15% conversion rate of paid consultations to paid customers. You need to know what those percentages are and what those metrics are, so you can look back at the campaign and see it's profitable. Because it's all well and good you bringing in 300 leads, but what for every 300 leads you bring that client, what does that mean for their top line revenue? If they're not converting, or they've got a really poor conversion rate, that means the emphasis on you getting a cheaper cost per lead is even more important. Whereas if they're converting 20%, then you can pay a lot more for a lead, because that all trickles down. So I think that is something that I've just done a brand new video in the academy about that. And it's so important that you know those figures when you're doing these campaigns. Otherwise, you're just like shooting into thin air, being like, well, here's 200 leads. Tell me what happened with them. I get paid either way. And it's like, they don't care.
Agreed.
So I think what would you say, mate? What other metrics do you look at?
Depends how much time we've got, mate. How much time we have?
We've got a minute and a half.
A minute and a half. I think when I'm looking at ads, particularly, because this is about the Facebook ad data, it's worth really remembering, guys. Also, your data will always be lower than the actual reality. So, because people opt out of tracking and stuff because of the iOS 14 update, 18 months ago, 2 years ago. So whatever data you've got to kind of take some of it with a pinch of salt. You get slightly better data if you're doing conversion API. And there's a few other things which we could talk about, which we talk about in the academy. But fundamentally, I look at cost per click, cost per lead, CTRs, the UCTRs. Anything unique is really, really important. And then there's a question, well, how do you improve those stats? That's a whole different video. The other things I'd say, if you're doing ecom, I always look at my events particularly. So I want to know, the Facebook Ads Manager doesn't give you this. You have to go into events within the Business Manager, where if you've got people landing on the page view and then they are doing view content, and view content is picking up on different pages they've been on your website, and then you're looking at initiate checkout, add to basket, initiate checkout, complete payment info, and then purchase. That tends to be, I've got 20 seconds left, holy fuck. That tends to be the order of sequencing. I would look at how many people are adding to basket and they're not actually purchasing, or sorry, initiating checkout and they're not actually buying. So why would you initiate checkout and not buy the product? There has to be something wrong with that. And if there's a big drop off, it needs looking at. And that's, again, a whole different fucking story altogether.
Yep.
But there we go.
There we go, mate. 10 minutes. Done.
What do we have no idea what our next video is going to be, but we have planned them out somehow. If you're listening on Apple Music or whatever platform we've got this on, then hope that's been useful. Like and subscribe. Again, if you've watched the whole video, like the diehards that watch us all the time, leave a comment, man, and tell us how you're getting on. Like, I'd like people to tell us like what stage they're at, the highlights of their week. Like, I want other people to look at the comments on our videos and recognize that there are people who are struggling, and there are people who are doing really, really well. And there's people who are caught in the middle about even doing a marketing agency. Like, some people will be reading it and going, I want to do this, but how do I do it? And it is so fucking doable. Like, the SMMA world has kind of died, and we don't refer to SMMA as much now because it is digital marketing, and you can start a marketing agency with zero experience, and we teach it, and we don't bang on about our academy, like, hardly ever, but it is fucking good. And if you want mentorship, me and Harry offer direct mentorship. But leave a comment, subscribe. Videos are coming out all the time. We're keeping them to 10 minutes because we know that none of you watch after 10 minutes. We just fucking know it.
Yeah, and we just ramble.
Yeah, and no one watches YouTube after 10 minutes. Yeah. So keep it short and sweet.
Yeah, hope you enjoyed, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.